Hey, Black folks, are you tired of hearing the same tired promises every election cycle, no matter what political party? Yeah, me too. So let's unpack 5 lies that politicians tell Black America and the truths behind them that they don't want us to find out. Number 1, we've made great progress on racial equality. Have we? I think not.
Look at this chart from the Institute for Women's Policy Research. In 2023, they looked at full-time salaries. Black women, on average, earned $50,470. White women, $60,450. That's almost $10,000 more than black women. Black men is even larger. Black men earned on average $55,570. White men, $75,950. That's $20,000 more. Now, let's look at home ownership between white people and black people. This next chart comes from the Census Bureau. Whites had 73.1% home ownership. This is in 2020. Black people, 7.9%. 73% to just under 8%. That's a huge gap.
Is it progress or just polished PR? Number 2, we hear you and we value your vote. Do they really? No.
Reality check is voter suppression laws and gerrymandering are still happening. In fact, the American Civil Liberties Union has a case against South Carolina and another against Louisiana for these exact same things. And look at this information from the Brennan Center organization. This is as of December 31st, 2024, just 5 months ago. At least 10 states enacted 19 restrictive voting laws, including one in North Carolina, after the election in Louisiana, where in Louisiana they passed 8 such laws. Again, ACLU has cases against both those states. And this map of the U.S. is also from the Brennan Center organization, and it shows those states that enacted restrictive voting laws in 2024. This isn't history, people. This was just last year.
They hear us at the ballot box, but not when it comes to the budget. Number 3, we're fixing the justice system.
Look at this data from the Sentencing Project organization. It talks about racial equity in incarceration and that it remains elusive. It says the lifetime likelihood of imprisonment among black men born in 2001, so they're 24 years old this year, although that's decreased, it still remains 4 times that of their white counterparts. And black women, their rate of imprisonment in 2021 was 1.6 times the rate of white women. So you may talk a good game, politicians, about fixing the justice system, but it's just empty promises, empty words.
Reform doesn't mean headlines, it means results. Number 4, we support Black-owned businesses. Do you? Because the dollars aren't going to Black-owned businesses.
This report, Racial Disparities in Government Contracting, is from the White House, December 20th, 2024. Again, less than 5 months ago. The report states that racial disparities in contracting dollars still exist with minority-owned firms, receiving a smaller share of contracting dollars than their representation among available firms. And it's not just black people, it's pretty much all ethnic groups, as there are significant gaps between white-owned firms and black, Hispanic, Asian, and Native American-owned firms.
Number 5, we're working to close the wealth gap.
Reality check is this. The legacy of redlining, discriminatory lending, etc., well, that's resulted in a lack of generational wealth among many black people. Look at this from ncrc.org. It talks about when redlining started, basically in the 1930s. And that's where low-income and minority communities were intentionally, now they did this on purpose now, were intentionally cut off from lending and investment through a system known as redlining. So as a result, fast forward almost 100 years later, those same neighborhoods who were cut off from lending, well, there's reduced wealth, greater poverty, and these same people are not expected to live as long, and there's a higher incidence of chronic diseases. Here's another report that pretty much says the same thing about the legacy of redlining. Blocked black households and other communities of color from assessing home mortgages, and as a result, home ownership for decades. And this all has been linked to present-day racialized neighborhood poverty and ongoing negative impacts on formerly redline neighborhoods. Now, this redlining is still going on. Look at this from the CFPB. You know, that agency that 47 got rid of? Well, this was a report from January 27th, 2025. So about 4 months ago. They have taken an action against Draper and Kramer Mortgage Corporation. The reason why? Well, according to the CFPB, they discouraged home buyers from applying to the company for home mortgage loans. But not just any people, not all people, those in majority Black and Hispanic neighborhoods in the Chicago and Boston areas. So people, redlining is still going on, and the organization, the government agency that was going after this, trying to control it, battle it, well, 47 said, get the hell out of here.
You're not closing the gap. You're moving the line further and further away for Black Americans. You Black folks, we're too smart to keep falling for these same old lies. Which one are you tired of, or ones plural? Leave a comment and let me know. See you in the next video. Bye for now.